Monday, February 2nd, Groundhog Day. Woohoo! And of course, the day after the Super Bowl. I didn't watch it. I watched the halftime show. That was actually pretty good. I'm not a Katy Perry. I would say I'm not a fan, but I don't follow Katy Perry. But it was a good show. I liked it, and I watched maybe 5 minutes of the game, like the last 5 minutes of the first half. And then had some other pressing things to take care of. But anyway, of course, the talk this morning on the radio is the advertisements, and I only saw one or two that they were talking about. I saw the one about the dad driving the daughter to the airport, and she cries and he cries and all that. But anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk to you about. This morning's Salty Bit is about getting free cable. When I was in college, of course, I didn't make any money. I was a full-time student, and my wife was working, and she made enough to pay the bills, and you know, we can have a few things. But I was just getting out of the military, didn't have any money when I was in the military, so I had even like less money now. And so we did what most people in our situation do. We just did without. And one of the things we did without was cable television. We had pretty decent local programming. Oh, by the way, we were supposed to get Snowmageddon, but it didn't happen. The roads are a little bit slick, and there's a guy tailgating me, so I'm moving over. Anyway, so we didn't have cable, and I was going to college, and like the third semester I went, I took it wasn't a correspondence course, it was a web-based course where I had to watch these history videos. It was a history class, and write reports on them, and then went into class like once a week to take a test, or maybe once every other week to take a test. Anyway, I had to go in to class and take an exam on the videos that I watched, which was cool. I like watching the videos because you can watch them over and over again, record them, you know, on VHS tape. So, but the only problem was the classes were only broadcast on one of the cable channels. So I had to suck it up, and we bought basic cable. Well, of course, not having cable in the house, and I don't think the people before us had cable because they had to come out and do a whole installation, literally from the pole to the house. So we're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And I had to, of course, we only had one car at the time, or one car was not running. Some reason I had to go pick up my wife at work. And so I'm waiting for this cable guy to show up, and he doesn't show up. Well, where my wife was working, the phones aren't that reliable. So she was, and on top of that, she was pregnant with my with our first son. And so I got a pregnant wife at work. I can't get a hold of her. I'm running late because the cable guy's running late. It was a mess. So the guy comes in. I mean, it wasn't his fault. They overscheduled him, and he did the best. And he wasn't expecting to do a full install. He thought he could just come by, switch something on the pole, and be done with it. But he was like at the house for 2 hours, hooking up the wire and running it to the house, and then running all the cable in the house. So that episode's over. We got cable. I'm watching my history videos for class. And one day I'm scanning through the channels and I run across one of my history videos, but it was on PBS, free. Well, I'm like 2 months into my case. I didn't sign a contract. I just signed a month-by-month deal with the cable company. So I figured, well, I don't need this anymore. So I just set my VCR to record these videos, and then I can watch them later and cancel my cable. So I called the cable company up and said, hey, I don't need the cable anymore. I'm gonna bring the boxes back. They're like, all right, just drop them off at the office. So I did. Take the boxes back, dropped them off. They shut off my, they stopped billing me, and the world was fine. I was getting my videos I needed. I stopped paying for cable. Well, one of the TVs we had, I had disconnected but never reconnected it, and there were 2 cable wires, one for the antenna and one that went to the cable box, and I plugged the wrong one into our TV. Of course, they were cable-ready TVs, which means they had basic cable channels programmed into them. So I plugged the cable wire into the TV, and lo and behold, I got cable. I'm like, what? So I figured, oh well, the guy just never, they didn't turn the switch off or whatever, or sent the truck out to turn the switch off. And this was like a week later, because that was a TV I didn't use that much. So I went downstairs and I plugged in the other TV that I had to the cable, and so I was watching it, and it's like, I guess I just wait till they turn it off and enjoy the free cable while it lasts. So fast forward to, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months later, I'm still getting cable, don't think about it. And this guy comes to the door one day, and he's got, like a cable company. It wasn't the cable company that I got the cable from. It was an independent contractor, and says, yeah, I'm here to turn off your cable. I'm like, I thought I had turned off my cable. He says, well, I got a work order here. It says, I got to turn off your cable. And it's like, well, pole's in the back. Help yourself. And so, so he does one of these numbers. He goes around the side of the house, and he does this. Let me show you my face. He goes, does that like 3 or 4 times. He just goes, kind of looks at the pole, looks back at me, looks at the pole, looks back at me, and then he goes, all right, have a nice day, gets back in the van and leaves. So for like 2 years I didn't pay for cable, and I was just getting basic cable. I figured, hey, it's it didn't cost them anything. They did their due diligence to send a guy out to turn it off. I called them up to tell them to turn it off. I got no heartaches about it. So that is my my run-in with legal and ethical issues. So anyway, it's wet and slippery out here in the Northeast, and I hope all my friends out there watching stay safe. Have a good day. Bye.